Aloha mai kako, a Kamamaida curtain call from a distance, a program of reviews, previews, interviews, and features of and or with the great art and artists on Maui and beyond. I'm Paul James Brown, and I'm coming to you from my home office where I have been conscientiously practicing self-isolation. Malama Wao Akua means to care for, observe, attend, preserve, and protect the realm of the gods. It's also the name of the latest exhibition to open at the Hui Noiao Visual Arts Center. This is the 5th year at the Hui for this most anticipated exhibition, sponsored jointly by the Hui and the East Maui Watershed Partnership. Maui artists are called to represent our native flora and fauna, some of the most unique and endangered in the world. The purpose of the show is to educate the viewer about how special this place is and what we might be able to do to ensure we save those endangered species and protect others from becoming endangered. It is the only show I know that has 2 jurors from completely different disciplines. Before a work is accepted into the show for jurying, conservation professionals examine it for, quote, accuracy and appropriateness in depiction and materials. 96 works representing 74 unique native species from 45 adult, 16 high school, 4 middle school, and 9 elementary school artists made the cut. The jurors this year were on the conservation side, Woody Mallinson, Natural Resources Program Manager and Biologist for Haleakala National Park, and the renowned printmaker and teacher, Abigail Romanchik. This show is unique in so many ways, but one of its most special is that each juror has a Juror's Choice Award. In addition, there are a total of 10 awards, making it, after The Art of Trash, one of the most awarded shows there is. Usually I begin my review of the show with the award winners, but this year it's a little different. I want to share my favorites first. First and foremost is this wonderful portrait of the late artist and conservationist extraordinaire Martha Haulani Vakrat Moran by Donette Jean Wilson. Ms. Vakrat Moran passed on June 29th after a long battle with cancer. She is captured here in a joyous moment, doing what she loves so much, working in the arboretum named for her grandfather, the naturalist D.T. Fleming, at Pu'u Mahoi. She propagated seedlings of 150 native Hawaiian species, 33 of which were enlisted as endangered. This photo shows her gathering seedlings of the po'ola to be given to Dr. Medeiros' Oahe Reforestation Project. In the obituary she wrote for herself, she said, quote, "I will always be with you as those who have passed before us, living in God's magic, in a gust of wind, a sun ray, an aumakua. With great sadness leaving, I thank you, God, for the most ultimate life on earth. I was so pleased to see her in this show. She was an exceptional painter who reveled in the beauty of the Maui and the Paniolo life and captured it in many exhibitions at the Hui and in Art Maui's. She will be missed." Lisa Ikis-Brisky is one of our finest painters. In this mixed oil color work, Through the Mists, A New Day Dawns for Hawaii, she depicts the early morning view at dawn of the island of Hawaii from the Haleakala Bog, a truly magical and special place. She captures its mystery, beauty, and features the pu'e, glory of the mountain, Lobella Gloria Montis. It is an endemic species and is listed as critically endangered. She captures it in all of its magnificence. Another work I absolutely love is Becky Lewis's Nene, Standing Proud. It's a gigantic relative to the 16 inches tall the bird actually is. Done in natural fibers, its boldness, the stance made me think a big bird. The unusual thing about this is Ms. Lewis depicts the bird with its wings fully extended, a sight few of us have seen. Of course, the nene is endemic and is our state bird, and is the only surviving goose species of the 6 we originally had. Pencil work for me has always been the true test of an artist. This depiction of Ua'akani, or wedge-tailed shearwater by Laurie Davenport, is breathtaking. The artist calls the media graphite, and the detail, coupled with the range of tones depicted, is masterful. Observe the extremes of the soft and light bouquet of flowers encompassing the bird with the sharp, dark depiction of the feathers. All of this combined make this a winner in my book. Of all the depictions of the silver sword, Ahina Hina, in this show, and there are many, including Ms. Romanchik's Juror's Choice, Elizabeth Keller's stamp series is my favorite. Watercolor is one of the most difficult media to work in, and Ms. Keller is an absolute master. In this series, she depicts the life cycle of the silver sword in minute and magnificent Lilliputian detail. The flowering of the silver sword, which only happens once in its lifetime, can take up to 90 years. Ms. Keller shows the flowering event in the center panel. I love the way, as the plant grows, she shows it as a two-partner stamp, and then she shows it after the blossoms have died and takes it all the way back to its beginning. The silver sword can only be found on Haleakala, and Ms. Keller gets an award from me for this marvelous piece. The Conservation Award went to Brian Berkowitz's photo on metal of the death number 22, a 7-year-old kiwikiu that was part of the Forest Bird Recovery Project, a bold attempt to reintroduce the endemic species back into the wild to save it from extinction. However, the avian flu-carrying mosquitoes got all 14 of them. Mr. Berkowitz captures a profound instance as conservationists mourn this loss in a Rockwell-esque moment. With only 150 of the birds known to be in existence, the photo captures the realization of what this death means, along with the grief from the loss. The award for the conservation professional went to Zach Pizzillo for capturing this endemic no ho'ano, silver geranium, and 2 species of native Hawaiian bees, Nalo meli maoli, yellow-faced bees, that pollinate this flower. Mr. Pizzillo is a naturalist who spends weeks at a time in the Aina. He creates these images in the wild and does his best not to disturb the natural environment while capturing it as if it were a studio image. One of Maui's most successful artists and one of the few artists of our time who invented a style of painting, Robert Lynn Nelson, submitted 2 pieces. The kiwikiu is Mr. Nelson's favorite endemic honey creeper, and it shows. His portrait shows the bird perched almost in anticipation. Every feather is rendered perfectly. The detail in Mr. Nelson's work is beyond photorealism. In his Iiwi, it almost feels like you can reach out and touch the softness of the feathers, and the white on this bird is seldom portrayed. As I said, Ms. Romanchik's favorite work was Christine Halton's painting of a silver sword. Ms. Halton has captured this one after its once-in-a-lifetime blossom, and like the octopus, who only lives until it lays its eggs, the silver sword dies after it scatters its seeds. Here we see the flowers drooping and the plant wilting. Mr. Mallinson's choice went to Susanna L. Cromwell's mixed media block print of Koa'e ula, red-tailed tropic bird, a seabird found across the subtropical regions of the Indian and Pacific Ocean, but not the Atlantic Ocean. The artist shows these birds over the beautiful Hui Aloha Church in Keokea. She also depicts 5 birds in many different perspectives. Once again, we have an exceptionally talented group of student artists in this show. It is so wonderful to see young people treated with respect for their talent. In this category, the jurors get only 1 choice at each level, so they have to agree on the juror's choice. The high school category was this acrylic critically endangered akohe kohe, or crested honey creeper, by Sam Spork. In the middle school category, Zoe Mounts, I See You, is a watercolor and pencil profile bust of an akohe kohe. Interesting, the top prizes in the 2 school categories were the same bird. Then we look at the elementary school and we see Astrid Brass's rendition in colored pencil and watercolor of a kiwikiu in the forest. The final prize went to Casey Lee's rarest find for this oil painting of the Kepa, aka Loxop ocracius. The last of these birds were sighted in 1988. Honorable mention from Ms. Romanchik went to Caroline Killauer's oil-based ink on archival paper of the Koa'e, or white-tailed tropic bird, and Mr. Mallinson selected Judy Biscard's Iai, an important plant in the Hawaiian culture, where it was used for baskets, fish traps, medicine, hula, and more. The show looks great. Credit for that goes to Exhibitions and Marketing Coordinator Josephine Bergil Gentile and Roberta Ann Wiesenberg. Congratulations. Malama Wao Akua is sponsored by Aloha Recycling. Mahalo nui loa for their generosity. It continues to November 6th, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Hui is following all CDC guidelines. Masks are required, and only 4 people are admitted at a time. The Hui Noyao is located at 2841 Baldwin Avenue in Makawao. It's a marvelous show. Don't miss it. Well, that's Curtain Call from a Distance for this week. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Paul James Brown. Ahui ho.